You're busy, yeah? There's never enough time to focus on your future work happiness. But if you don't focus on it, things just stay the same, don't they? In these short episodes, I want to give you some tiny ideas, some mini experiments to try out this week to either dial down a pain point for you at work or dial up your potential for joy at work. Let's dive in. Envy isn't all bad. It's a signal, a nudge from your body, mind, and emotions that something's missing. At work, envy can serve as a guide, helping you to pinpoint desires, gaps, and limitations that are holding you back. Here's a little story to illustrate how envy can fuel joy. Back in 2019, one of the first participants in the career redesign program, the Fierce Emporium, was Pete. He had just celebrated his 50th birthday. And during our first call, Pete shared something that has stayed with me ever since, a recurring daily bout of envy that shaped his career transformation. Pete was, and is, a charismatic Englishman with great taste in women. His wife, coincidentally, is from about 100 miles away from my hometown in Ireland. He'd spent decades working in big banks as a project manager. His daily commute, often a crawl through relentless traffic, provided him with far too much time to think. And every day, without fail, Pete would pass road workers in neon vests, building new roads and repairing the old. Each time he passed, he was overcome with envy. Not mild envy, but raging, all-consuming, gut-wrenching envy. To Pete, these workers seemed to have it all. Fresh air, physical activity, an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. It got to the point where he couldn't stop thinking about it. Envy was taking over and making him question everything about his career. Eventually, Pete took action. He stopped passively stewing in envy and started exploring ways to redesign his work life. That's how we met. You can read his career change case study at Midlife Unstuck. And what Pete taught me is that envy at work can serve three powerful purposes. Number one, envy is a vital message from your body. Envy is a loud, visceral sign. It's your body telling you in no uncertain terms that someone else has something you deeply want. When you feel envy, pay attention. Where do you feel it? A pang in your chest, maybe? A twist in your gut? That physical reaction can offer rare clarity. It's like an internal GPS pointing you towards something that could increase your joy at work. For Pete, the envy he felt for road workers was his body's way of shouting, "You need more physical activity, more time in the outdoors, and more purpose in your work." Number two, envy highlights a gap you can bridge. Often envy is about capability. If you envy someone else's job, it's usually because they're doing something you're not yet ready to do. Notice the word yet. Envy isn't just an emotional problem, it's often a learning problem. Maybe you lack skills, confidence, or the network to do what they're doing yet. But the good news is you can take steps to close those gaps. When you reframe envy as an opportunity for growth, it can become a powerful joy motivator. Number three, envy reveals what you can't change and need to adapt for. Sometimes envy points to something you'll never be able to fix, no matter how hard you try. And that's okay. For instance, I have a major brain gap when it comes to numbers involving dates and times. It's caused everything from missed flights to Sydney to showing up for a West End show 3 weeks early. So twice a year, when the clocks change in the UK and my US clients' time zones shift on different weekends of the month, my mind practically implodes. I seriously envy people who glide through life unbothered by time zones. But instead of beating myself up, I've adapted. Google Calendar and my assistant do the heavy lifting, and I've learned to communicate my limitations with my clients up front so that we both show up at the right time for each other. And what's the result? Less stress and more joy. But beware the dark side of envy. Da, da, da. Of course, envy isn't all sunshine and clarity. Chronic envy without action leads to you feeling stuck. And its poisonous cousin jealousy, the bitterness and resentment that someone else has what you don't, is never productive. It just keeps you stuck. Here's our simple experiment this week. I want you to pause, take a minute to reflect on what makes you envious at work. Write it down if you can. Then identify one tiny actionable step that you can take to get closer to what you're longing for. Whether it's a new skill, reaching out to someone new, or simply adjusting your expectations, a tiny step can get you on the move. Envy isn't the enemy. When used wisely, it can offer you a cracking steer towards greater joy at work. Just ask Pete. He's living proof. If you enjoyed this, you might also enjoy my Life Satisfaction Assessment. It's a 30-minute program where I guide you through a deep dive into 10 areas of your life to assess what's bringing you joy and what's bringing you down. I call it Derailed. It's a fabulous place to begin a Joy at Work redesign.